putting the band back together.
Forget it. We're on a mission from God.
It's Matty Patty, coast to coast. From Brooklyn, this is Patty Patty to San Francisco. It's Matt Younger. Say hello, Matty.
Hey, Patty, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Cavs are 2-1. They look good.
Real good.
All is right with the world.
I'm getting a little too excited about it, Patty.
I get a little too excited, particularly for one man who's come back home on, you might say, a mission from God. Welcome,
Hello, Father.
Little Gotti. Welcome to the Cleveland Sports Hour with Matty and Patty, two self-aware but unapologetic homers who spend far too much time watching, reading, and thinking about the Browns, Cavs, and Tribes. So if you get the informed, intelligent Cleveland fans' perspective, you've come to the right place. So yeah, Matty, that opening clip was in honor of Mo Gotti. It's like he never missed a beat, Matty.
It's so good to have him back.
We're getting the band back together.
I know. Who's next, Pat?
Oh, it's so exciting. I was looking at Drew Gooden the other night for the Wizards. I don't really want him back, though.
No, I don't want Drew back either.
No, I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's doing well. He's being, useful somewhere.
Booby is the right answer here.
Booby come out of retirement would be so nice.
I mean, he doesn't have any game left, obviously, but just from a personality perspective, if I had to put the player that we could pull back that deserves it the most, I think is Booby. Yeah, besides Z.
I was gonna say Z. Come on, another guy coming out of retirement. Booby's busy making music and running boobiesworld.com. I actually follow him on Twitter. It's all just I don't know why I follow him on Twitter anymore. There's nothing useful out of it. But what's so great to me about Mo Gotti, I'm okay with him as a starter right now. Even watching him play,
he's looked great. I love his handle. I love that LeBron is letting our point guards be point guards, both him and Delly. They're handling the ball every time, bring it up the court almost every time. I mean, his shot wasn't falling great the other night. Miami will get into that more later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But in general, I love how he's playing. And his defense has not been a disaster.
Terrible. Yeah, it's not been a total disaster. He's been beat a couple of times, but he recovers. He's playing within the team defense like he did. In his stage with the Cavs. But I'm okay with him as a starter even just because of what he used to be and what he's playing like right now. We're going to be okay while he's out. But, like, as a backup, backing up Kyrie, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
So we're going to go from Kyrie Irving to this guy. So when Kyrie says this guy's going to be out there, that's fucking awesome.
And just think about Delly going against the third-string point guards out there.
Yeah, I know. Or Delly playing a shooting guard in his lineups.
That's what we'll really see.
Yeah. One other thing before we move on from Mo Gotti briefly, can we get a different version of his internal house music? I don't know if they played it the other night with the heat. I didn't hear it. But if you remember when Mo Gotti would hit, I keep saying Mo Gotti just because that's his persona he goes with his Godfather shit. When he hit a big shot, the cue would play this like the original music sort of.
Yeah.
It just sounds like I
thought it was more wah 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 wah.
Maybe, but it just sounds like womp womp. I don't know. I just can I suggest right now to the Cleveland Cavaliers organization. This should be like 10 minutes of Googling to find a nice funky beat to put to the Godfather music.
Pat, start tweeting it.
Something in there.
They're very active. They're very active on Twitter. They'll listen.
Matty, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a visionary. I'm going to be using this in the promotions for this podcast. A campaign I'm going to be starting of bringing back Mo Gotti's music, kind of upgrading it for
He needs it. He'll like it too. You should start tweeting at him about it.
I'll tweet all 5 of his accounts. I don't even know which one's good. I follow the one that gives me the pube tweets, so
that's what
hopefully I'll find the right one. So listen, there's a ton of Cavs stuff to get to. We're going to talk about all the week's games, especially the performances of the new reserves that our podcast tonight. We'll talk about LeBron's back and other things involving LeBron, Kevin Love. We'll update the power kill list. We're going to rate the Cavs Halloween costumes. And then we'll take a look ahead at the next week with another installment of Most Likely To. We'll give it a shot. Oh, shit, Matt.
Yes, Patty?
The Did the Browns play today?
I've got bad news for you. They did play.
Oh, God damn it. God damn it. So we have to talk about the Browns, right? It's the Cleveland Sports Hour.
I think we are obligated to discuss them at least a little bit.
Oh, such a damn fan. All right.
Let's bring in some help, though, Patty. I don't want to.
Yeah, I can't do this alone. Look, joining us live from Cleveland, I'm Granty with the latest Browns bedwetting incident. Granty, you there?
Let's get this over with.
Yeah, Jesus. Thank you for being here. This means a lot to me.
Sitting at home in the dark by myself, unlit room, listening to you guys sing the Godfather song. Times are tough.
What has life come to?
Dark times. Hey, Grant, I want to start with an opening question. It's the most important question I start off all Browns conversations with. Did Dwayne play?
He did play.
Whoa.
He played.
He played and he had a target, too, that he dropped.
Ooh. What happened?
I wasn't even watching at this point in the game. It was in the last 2 minutes when Manziel got in there. But while I was brewing some beer and bottling it today, and I overheard the announcer saying, Dwayne Bowe, not a catch. So for every target he's gotten, I think he's gotten paid like $1 million this year.
Oh, man.
You think he's been targeted 9 times?
He's only getting paid $4.5 million this year.
It's not guaranteed over 2 years, right?
Right.
That's sad and depressing. Grant, this game looked okay.
No, it didn't.
It did.
The first half didn't look okay to me. We were up so big. We were scoring at will. Our defense looked strong.
20-7.
This reminded me of a college game more than a professional game. As many folks know, Uncle Granty's a big fan of the Fighting Irish, and this reminded me of a Notre Dame game where they were, except Arizona was Notre Dame, so they were clearly superior, but they kept on shooting themselves in the foot. You knew eventually that levee was going to break and the water was going to come rushing over the Browns. Even the Browns knew. There was one telling moment where Bryant got that fumble early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're just even looking at the Browns sideline, like no one's excited that he gets it because they just don't know what to do when good things happen to him. It was bizarre.
Jesus. Man, that sounds like a team that the coach is lost if they're sitting there on the sidelines not getting hyped about a huge play.
That doesn't sound.
How do you feel about what are your odds now on surviving the year?
Are you asking if I fire them now based on this game?
Yeah, at the end of the season, not right now. Again, always when I ask this, it rarely makes sense to fire coach midseason unless he's like an utter fucking disaster. But
I don't know. I still don't think I saw anything dumb enough from a coaching perspective in this game to make me fire them. I'm weighing this as there's some value in continuity. They're not so bad that the continuity hurts, and who the hell else are we going to convince to come in and coach this disaster? That firing doesn't make sense to me.
That's the best answer you can get.
I mean, seriously, do you think they look terribly coached today? I think they just look like a team that was way out of its element.
I mean, Grant, when you see Joe Hayden just getting destroyed up and down the field, it's hard to get upset at the coaching. I mean, I love Joe Hayden. I'll make the excuses for him, and maybe the concussion he's coming back from, he wasn't fully back from it because I didn't see him get his bell rung, but he went out with a concussion, which was worrisome for his long-term career and his personal health. But I don't know. This seemed more like we're just overmatched.
As he was diving to tackle Michael Floyd on that bomb that he jogged in the end zone with, he ate the back of his heel, and that's what put him out.
That's what it was. It didn't look that bad, but yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if they're going to replace the coaches, they need to know who they want to get. Correct. I got to go get that guy.
And Matty, you're right. They're not going to get them. So I'm sort of with you on the.
Right. Anybody that has them can go back a dump truck full of money at their door to come. I'm just not confident in that person's intentions willingness to gut through what you got to gut through to be the Browns coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like what the hell coach that's worth anything is going to come to this organization? You're not going to get somebody with a proven track record. Bill Cowher's not coming out of retirement to coach this mess.
Mm-mm.
Like, you got to go with an upstart, and I don't think we're far enough through with Pettin to say he's a disaster, given everything else that's going wrong with this team.
It's strange. The season's getting worse, but yet you're convincing me more that we have to stick with Pettin. I don't know how that's happened, but we've reached that point.
But our personnel is just terrible.
Yeah. Speaking of personnel, Grant, Matt was calling my attention today. There's now trade talks surrounding Joe Thomas and Alex Mack. Sources saying that we're making it known that they're available.
Paul Kruger, too.
Well, who gives a shit? Do any of you guys trust Ray Farmer to get good value for Joe Thomas and Alex Mack?
You can't trade Joe Thomas. You trade Joe Thomas, you're just going to get yourself fired. He's a Hall of Famer. I mean,
yeah, why would you ever fucking do it? We have him under contract. He's going to be great for at least 5 years, right? For at least the worst case scenario is going to be above replacement for at least 5 years. We have him under contract for at least, 4 more years, right? We had a 5-year contract 2 years ago, right? So we have 4 more years with him under contract.
He's under contract till 2018, I'm pretty sure.
You fucking keep him. Like Mack, yes, Mack could opt out next year. Mack, I can see there being a case made for, hey, we drafted this first rounder, he could play center, he could play all these different positions. Let's trade Mack and get something back so we can keep retooling. I see that argument, but I don't trust Ray Farmer to do it to not fuck it up.
Let me tell you something. If they really trade these players, it's got nothing to do with building the team. Yeah. It's got everything to do with putting money in their pocket.
Really?
It would just be a straight cash grab.
Oh. Do you think that's a bridge too far? So I guess this is a question, Grant. Is there ever a bridge too far for Browns fans with this team? And if there is, would that be it?
I think you've got a generation of people who've never seen the team win. I think they're in deep trouble. They need to get something going soon. I mean, the only reason we're Browns fans is because our parents were Browns fans. And then we got a couple good years in the 80s with, Bernie and the Dogs. But if you're younger than us, if you're in your 20s, you've never seen the Browns have a good season.
Yeah, not even really close to one, and certainly nothing that's been sustained.
And especially with the Cavs coming on now.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
speaking of which, let's start wrapping this up, Andy. This is depressing me. We have fun things to talk about.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to add was Matt surprised me when he told me that there's actual trade talk around this, because the coincidence is this happened like a day or two after 2 monumentally stupid trade machine articles that were generated earlier this week. Greg Garber at ESPN wrote, on Thursday, I believe, that he wants the Browns to trade Joe Thomas for Jason Pierre-Paul and a 5th-round draft choice. Seriously. Jason Pierre-Paul, who has one complete hand.
Somebody might
and
burn
a 5th-round draft pick. I mean, but this person was serious about what a fortuitous trade this would be. It was like, what? I mean, just to cement what a fucking asshat this guy is. He lists all the horrible Browns quarterbacks we had over the years. You know who he listed among the quarterbacks? Phil Dawson.
He probably threw a pass once.
It's still in print. You can go up there. He's not corrected this shit yet. This is how fucking bad it is. All right. The other one, though, was from Mark Sessler at NFL.com. He said the Browns should trade Joe Hayden and Alex Mack to the Jaguars, because Alex Mack likes the Jaguars, for the Jags' 1st-round pick last year. That's it. 2 Pro Bowlers for 1 1st-round pick next year, so we can package together to get Goff.
I'd be highly surprised if anybody gets traded. But while you're talking about quarterbacks, I got to tell you, I love Josh McCown. I thought he was going to be garbage coming in. I love that guy.
Yeah, I love him. He's a fucking gamer to the point of, I got so worried for him throughout this game. I was like, dude, just stay down. Stay down. You can just, he was really fucking hurt. Like, I wanted him to go out because, you know, he's our fucking age, guys, and he's got like, get out of there, man.
Grant, do you think they should have pulled him in the third quarter? Whenever he got hurt?
I think you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, if he says he wants to stay, well, he's not going to pull himself. I mean, that guy's coming off on a card. But if he says he can go, he's a veteran. Johnny Manziel hasn't done anything. I think you got to let him stay in there. There's going to be a lot of criticism of not pulling him, but I'd say let him go.
For sure. And I guess from the Browns' perspective, I mean, they'll drop him off at the glue factory after the season for all they care, right?
Right.
Well, I think, to be fair, I think these guys care. One thing you certainly get about Patton is he's a good person. And he's not going to, like, you know, intentionally risk this guy's fucking life.
No, that's part of a coaching staff's job, though, is because most of these guys are tough as hell and gamers and want to go back in there, and it's a coach's and coaching staff's job to say, you're not ready, do not go back out there. I'm pulling rank here. I think that's the argument, right? Like, concussions, that's a huge deal, but he was pretty freaking beat up, man.
Absolutely.
What they have to do is run the ball a little bit.
Yeah, that's just gone.
They totally gave up on the run today. I thought that they could have run the ball today.
Yeah, they had some good runs going, but all of them did.
Hey, Grant.
Go ahead.
Grant, in retrospect, would you pay $13 for Isaiah Crowell in a draft league?
I would definitely pay $12 because I know Patty McMutters would pay the 13 and take him off my hands.
I was texting Matt today saying it's time for me to call me a culpa. Boy, he was a different runner last year. You know, this offensive line was supposed to be better than this, and I don't know. The biggest point being, I keep watching Grant, and you tell me about this. I see these gigantic holes open in the offensive line, and he runs the other way into a wall of men. Is that him? I assume it's him. I assume it's a bad running choice to make as a running back to avoid the wide open hole. Where there's some guys who are coming to close in fast, but you might be able to escape that way as opposed to just jam it into where guys are shoulder to shoulder. Is this Crow or is that something else?
I don't know. I haven't seen too many big holes that you're talking about.
Well,
I mean, he can't dance. He's got to jam it up in there. But
no. There's at least three occasions I can think of the top. There's at least three occasions I can talk about the top of my head where there was a hole that opened up and he ran into his own offensive lineman instead of hitting the hole. Today it happened. It was on the right side of the line, and he could have just run up that gap and ran right into the wall. There's a goal line one I think in week 2 that he fucked up. I feel like I agree. I don't see a lot of holes opening up. When I see them open up, I see him miss them, and I don't know. I've lost faith in the girl. He may not be a very good running back. So
send him a tweet.
I'm not doing really great.
Say run to the open space, Crow.
Yeah. Take it from me. So anyway, anything else you guys want to say about the Browns? And a few
let's do our where are your win projections at?
Oh. I think at last was at 3. I'm gonna stick at 3.
I was at 6.
Yep.
You started at 6, so did I. I've downgraded to 5 and then to 4, and I think I went to 3 recently, but I'm at 3 now for what it's worth, though.
The last time I talked, I said that you really can't judge them until they get into the divisional part of their schedule.
You did. Start Thursday.
Yeah, and then followed up Pittsburgh on the road. I mean, they're in for a rough spell, I think.
Baltimore on Monday night, back Cincinnati, then San Francisco, Seattle, Kansas City, and Pittsburgh. That feels like one win to me.
They might still 2 out of there. It's possibly 4.
I'll take them down. I'm going to take it down to 5. I'm going to go down to 5. I think they'll get 5 wins.
Who do you think they beat, Grant?
I think they'll beat San Francisco. I think that they'll beat one of these divisional opponents, maybe the Steelers. I think they're going to get their doors blown off in Cincinnati, though.
Yeah.
Without Hayden and Whitner, it looks like, playing.
Jesus.
You got half of McCown. I'd expect to see Manziel in that game just due to injury.
You got to think so, right? And the Bengals came back and won today, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
They're not.
They did.
It would be a very Bengals and Browns things to have the Browns win this game for the first loss for Cincinnati this year, but I just don't. I don't think we got the guns, man.
I don't think we do either. But I do think 2 wins is possible out of this. I can't quite see 5, but they have their moments like they did for in that first half that they could pull off a surprise here and there.
Grant's right though. I mean, there's a lot of turnovers there that we took advantage of. Sort of took advantage of.
Yeah, blew a couple too.
Arizona's a much better team than the Cleveland Browns.
They just are.
Patently, yes.
And St. Louis was a much better team than the Cleveland Browns too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we sort of got a little fool's gold from last year playing the NFC South. I mean, that division was so weak.
We said that going into this, that the schedule is so much harder this time around, and the team isn't that much different. It was going to be rough. I really did not see. I was speaking from a place of optimism, saying 6-10, right? Given what happened last year. This is that stronger schedule with a regression built in too.
Grant, do you have your eyes on anybody for the draft?
No, not yet.
All the that Cardell Jones talk sort of petered out a little bit, huh?
He might win back the starting job next week.
I was gonna say he's got a chance to shine again, to make it up.
I heard he bailed Barrett out of jail. Is that true?
Yeah, he picked them up. He picked them up from the station.
Good man.
That's a fascinating relationship, right?
That's pretty interesting.
The jobs, they're good friends. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Barrett should have called them from the bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably at the bar. They're probably together.
That might be true, actually, sadly.
Yeah.
Granty, anything good to take away from today, or it's just all darkness?
Darkness is spreading.
I genuinely feel very little sense of hope with this team. Like, I don't know. I don't think we're at rock bottom yet, astonishingly. I can see ways in which it could get much worse. But, like, things just feel so broken. I have no idea what could turn it around.
If they lose the next 2 and lose them badly, you got to be on red alert. Something might happen.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Oh, for sure. Into the bye at 2 what would we be? 2-7?
2-8.
2-8? Jesus, man. Yeah, 2-8. Oh, God. That's bad news. Ravens climbing back over us for bottom of the division. That's ugly.
All right, boys, this has been a pleasure. Talk about the Cavs.
Yeah, the lamps have gone out all over Brownstown. It is not known whether they will ever be lit again in our generation. So on that friendly, happy note, bye, Grant.
Adios.
Thanks,
We're talking about fun times in the Cavs now, so please turn on a light. do something positive. Grant, thanks again for joining, buddy. Appreciate it. Damn, he just jumped out. He didn't even waste. It's just gone.
I don't blame him.
I was going to the control room to go mute him, just to pull him down so we could continue. Just didn't even bother to stick around.
I don't blame him. What a terrible task he had.
Oh God, yeah, we asked him just bring the bad news
Just
off the
come
top.
back and shit.
Hey, like true Clevelanders, Matty, we spent 15 minutes on that shit. Actually, more than 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It felt like 20 minutes on that shit. I want to spend 10 minutes tops on that. We spent 20 minutes on it. That was a terrible decision. I apologize to all our listeners.
Pat, let's start making some good decisions. Let's talk about the Cavs.
Let's start making some good decisions. So, Matty, here's what I like to do to talk about the Cavs. To start us off on the Cavs, we often have special correspondents, right? I don't have a special correspondent for this one per se. However, it's well known to our friends that the only Cleveland sports team that my wife, Becca, cares about or actually gives a shit about is the Cavs. She came with us to our big sports outing in Cleveland last fall. So I've gotten her into – she watched pretty much all 3 of the first 3 games, so big chunks of it. So she sat down and watched with me the whole time. Yeah, I committed. We put away the phone. We sat and talked through it and discussed. So I basically had this nice kind of correspondence report from Becca, her bullet points, the things that she's looking at, the things that are catching her eye. So this is my little special treat for you. I'm going to go through them, and I think this is a good way for us to sort of go through the Cavs' first 3 games and what we think of them, okay? And then we can sort of go into special detail after that. Becca's first note, I asked her, give me her full notes because she's been talking throughout the 3 games. So I said, Becca, what's your first note? Her first note off the bat is Kevin Love got hotter.
That suggests to me that Becca likes perms.
Or hobbits. It's weird. I pointed out to her, like, the way he does his hair with the headband, like, there's this ring that gets sweaty, and then the very top on the crown stays dry and frizzy. It's weird. It looks terrible.
She's been known to date ultimate frisbee players, though, so I think her taste can be questioned.
This is true. This is true. But that was her first observation.
She's got some blind spots.
I gotta say, we were mocking him for the haircut and the hairstyle and everything like that. And the first thing she said was, "Ooh, Kevin Love got hotter." So there's that. But that's not terribly surprising. Another observation she had is that apparently, Matty, I give out bad energy when LeBron takes bad shots.
Oh, stop the presses.
But don't you? Doesn't everyone? You know what I'm talking about, right? When LeBron's like slows down the offense, is dribbling on holding the ball, jab stepping, a foot inside the 3-point line, and you just know he's going to just like waste the clock and just jack up the worst shot in basketball, the long range 2, right? Yeah. But of course, at a certain time when you kind of have a feeling it might go in, you say no. Okay, yes, okay, fine. If you're gonna hit it like that, fine.
For sure, and particularly against Miami, he was red hot from out there.
Yes, he was. But did you not have any moment where you did that last night on Friday night, watching the game, going, no, come on, no, and then he just
for sure.
Yeah. So apparently, I give a bad energy. I don't know what that means, but
I believe it.
All right, number 3. This is the first substantial note that she comes up with. She just goes, the Cavs are an awesome passing team. And, Matty, let's talk about the passing. Absolutely.
About how refreshing that is. But one, she's right.
Yes, absolutely she's right.
Who knew she had that kind of basketball acumen? And
she does.
It's extremely refreshing.
Extremely refreshing. Oh, Matty, speaking of Becca's basketball acumen, I'm remiss. I had a name for this segment. Becca's ballin'.
Becca's ballin'. Is this going to be a recurring segment, you think?
Becca's ballin'. Yes, because, it's sort of like Terry's talking. That terrible phrase. And what I like about it is that I think that Becca has about a similar level basketball acumen as Terry Pluto.
Oh, that's not fair to Terry Pluto. Come on.
That's not fair to Becca. She actually does know her shit. No, I'm serious. Not entirely serious, but mostly serious.
Not.
Mostly serious is that I'm sorry. I never learned anything remotely like eye-opening from Terry Pluto, but he knows his shit. I am thoroughly impressed by how much Becca knows her shit.
All right, I'll let you grade her on a curve.
Let's hope she doesn't listen to this.
But I does not listen to it, and I'm prepared to pump the brakes on this if it gets out of control. I'm just telling you that now.
What? What's the name?
No, you can use the name, but
You're not into this format yet of using Becca's observations as a starting point for Cavs conversation.
I'm fine with that. I just don't want the comparison to Terry Pluto's basketball knowledge was a bridge too far for me, and I'm just on watch for it going further than that. That's
okay. Okay, I've gone too far with Terry Pluto. Because I don't want. I'm not trying to hate on him. I love Terry Pluto, you know that, but I love him in a way that I also hate him.
I got you.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, so
go ahead.
They are an awesome passing team, and when we talked in the preview about if they were going to buy into the offense, if LeBron was going to buy into the offense, it was going to look like it did in the preseason last year. Early reports are fantastic, man.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, they were rough in that game against Chicago. We'll talk more about that and how Chicago looked. But there were some great little set plays, but also rhythm plays where they just would pass down in the next pass to the next big, and all those passes. I was dying for that last year, certainly in the finals, but it never came.
Yep.
And I think it's a big point because one of the many things we talked about in Cavs preview was look for how much motion offense you're seeing. How much of David Blatt's sets are they running? That's an early key sign about how much buy-in they get from him. And we're seeing really positive signs, right? They're running a ton of it, to the point where LeBron even had a criticism, like a praise criticism, if you can call it that, where he said, like, he felt like against Chicago they were running too many sets. Not that the sets were bad, but they never got into a rhythm. You have to mix it up. You have to feel the rhythm of the game mixed in with the sets. But they were just concentrating on the sets, and so that was just a sign of their rust, that they weren't comfortable enough with the sets. They just felt they had to run them over and over again. But you felt like it was more in rhythm in the next two games after that. So that's an extremely encouraging sign.
Yeah, absolutely. This was I'm sure we'll talk about this more when we go through all the games, but that is probably the best news of the early season so far.
Absolutely. Next point. So the 6 points she gave up totally. So this is number 4. Eddie Varejao is still a spaz, but she loves him. And I agree.
Yeah, I
love him. He's been great. He's been playing within himself. He has not been a liability. He's had some great plays, great baskets, some nice bailout shots from the corner, from the elbow. I love Andy.
Typical crazy offensive rebounds, running through the lane, getting. But I've been thoroughly happy with how he's looked and how we've used him.
And what a fantastic rotation this is for the front court.
Oh my God!
Sasha Khan's not going to see the court at all unless one of them gets hurt. God forbid. Yep. And that's what's great about that setup, is that if one of them gets hurt, we get to see what we have in Sasha Khan, and hopefully we have something. That's been one nervousness, but all right. Number 5 is I think probably her most interesting take.
Let's hear it.
She's pretty sure. I'm not pretty sure. She's positive that the Grizzlies head coach had a nose job in the offseason.
Dave Jager?
Yeah. She says there's telltale bruising under his eyes. The bags of the eyes right beyond the bridge of the nose. That is the telltale sign of a nose job. And she should know. She grew up in Scarsdale, New York. So she was surrounded by a lot of nose jobs growing up in high school.
I would trust her on this. I'm just doing a search for Dave Jager nose jobs and not seeing anything.
I heard the typing on your computer was exciting. But can you pull up any pictures? You can see. I mean, I recommend looking this up. Either that's just a weird, stain he has under his eyelids. But she was positive of it. All right, the last point she had, number 6, is a segue into something I wanted to talk about, because it was a point I was going to raise anyways in the podcast. She declared that LeBron James is no longer our best player.
Blasphemy.
She says it's Kyrie.
Kyrie?
Yeah, and he wasn't playing. No, she knows, but she was just watching him play now and remembering what she saw from Kyrie last year, and she said, you know what? I think Kyrie's the best player now. That was her thing. The funny thing is, I was going to make an aspirational point of, and I felt this way certainly more after the Chicago game when LeBron was, he had that, fast break against Tony Snell where he had him one-on-one. Instead of just, cutting him in half, he threw over his back to someone he thought should have been trailing him and wasn't there. And when he got blocked by Pau Gasol because he didn't get a good lift. And I started, I'm still having a really hard time coming to terms with, that LeBron's not going to have the same athleticism he used to have.
Sure, downside.
Well, look, he's always going to – he's a great player no matter what. But what made him, borderline greatest in the conversation, the argument for the greatest of all time, was the athleticism that he put on top of that, and that he put on top of the game, right? Yeah. The mental game, the shooting game, everything. He had his superlative athleticism that is no longer superlative. It is now earthbound, He's still a freak of nature, obviously, but he's now more,
He's going to be 31 in December.
Yeah, it's no longer unbelievable.
I hear you.
So I was watching the game, seeing that, thinking that, and I thought to myself, and this is before Becca said this, I said to myself, if the Cavs are going to win a title, I think it's going to be because Kyrie's our best player. At the time that we win. By the time we win, that's going to have to happen. And maybe this is a reaction to seeing, Steph Curry go off and be that crazy shooter in the 3-point age. But I kind of feel like that might have to happen. And so I found that fascinating that Becca had that same thought at the same time that I was having that thought. She went out and said it in a way that I am not ready to say it yet, but I'm thinking to myself, by the end of the year, we're going to have to hope that Kyrie is the best player on this team. That's my early prediction or projection.
I don't know if I'm there with you yet. I think LeBron's got a little more left in him than we saw. I think he's got a little more bounce in his step than we saw there. I think hopefully we take really good care of him during this year and really limit his minutes in games. And he's got more left in the playoffs. The stuff that was off with him in the playoffs last year, he was missing a lot of layups around the rim, but I don't know how much of that was touch versus losing some athleticism. His jumper was off, which is not really an athletic.
No, and it was back on Friday night against the Heat.
Way back on Friday.
That was nice to see.
I think we certainly could win a championship this year, and it's certainly possible we could win that with LeBron still clearly being our best player. I do. On the other hand, it's going in that direction for sure, and that's at least theoretically one of the reasons he decided to come back.
Right, exactly.
Cleveland was that he was going to have a complement of players around him who were younger and could, accommodate his diminishing skills.
Diminishing skills, Matty. Those are fighting words in Cleveland. Careful.
I know. I don't mean diminishing this year, but it's gonna happen. He's not gonna retire after this year, and I think he knew that.
But let's talk about his bat. But sorry, what were you gonna say? Go ahead, finish.
We can pick this up later. We don't need to get into it now, but let's not sleep on Kevin Love rejuvenating.
Oh no.
Better year for conversations for our best player too.
I do want to talk about Kevin Love in a minute. I didn't put him in our rundown, but I knew he'd come up just because how great he's been playing. I should have put him in here. But while we're talking about LeBron, let's talk about his back for a second.
Yeah.
Because like what I'm saying is, if he is still our best player, he's playing better. I hope he's playing better than he's playing now. I don't mean that as a way of alarm that he's not playing well enough for us to win a title, but
better than he played against Miami on Friday night. He was pretty.
No, Miami LeBron was pretty good. Now that required his jumper to be falling down the whole night, which is I think it's a question mark. But look, he looked a little earthbound the first 2 games. I think also he's still coming back from some back treatment where he got the injection in his back, and Brian Windhorst had a great column on the whole history of his back that goes back actually quite a few years to his first stint with the Cavs actually.
Yep.
Some of the current concerns going forward, but I came away from that article not being too terrified, but being kind of like cognizant of his mortality. But that he's gonna be better. He's gonna be more springy in a month's time probably. But that's where it becomes really important to keep his minutes down. And it's been nice seeing how much we've been able to keep him off the court. He's the first guy off the court early in the first quarter. I think that's great. I've been loving the rotations that Blatt's been throwing out there.
No, I agree. I like, that was a criticism of him at the beginning of last year, right? He was running our stars ragged, and part of that was because we didn't have a bench.
Right. Even though LeBron posted his historically low limits. Historically low minutes. He never had played fewer minutes per game than he did last year, and yet we still gave Blatt criticism for running his stars ragged.
Well, part of that was Kyrie. Kyrie was playing crazy amounts of minutes too, which need to come down and hopefully will.
Yes, with Mo around, certainly it will.
But I think this is one. I think LeBron takes exceptionally good care of himself and takes that part of his life really seriously. Mm-hmm. I think the Cavs take it pretty seriously, so it's something. In true Cleveland fashion, it'll probably get balky at an incredibly important point in the playoffs and really mess with our heads. But in general, I'm not losing sleep over it.
Matty, what do you think about one of the things we said for people to look out for in the early games was we told him not to look out for LeBron posting up early, that he was saving for the postseason. He's been posting up a lot in these first 3 games. What do you think of that?
I feel like part of it has been, and I saw this with I think this is a consequence of ball movement more than anything, because it doesn't feel like the traditional
forcing it in there.
Yeah, and like what we saw in the '90s, like when in the age of those good centers, so like with Ewing and Olajuwon and David Robinson, you walk it up the court, you center gets position, you feed it into him. It hasn't been that as much as getting ball movement and mismatches down low and guys taking it. Kevin Love's been really good about that.
Mm-hmm. Although I will say they've been running a couple plays for both Kevin Love and LeBron where the whole point was for them to steal out down low. Like you can see them working for that. That's the first play they're looking for.
Yeah.
So I think it's significant that they're looking for LeBron in the post early. They are looking for it. It's something that they are looking for. I would just think with the back you don't want that. But, maybe I don't know enough about the strains in the back with backing guys down. Maybe it's easier.
Yeah, we're exactly. I agree. I think that we don't know exactly what's wrong with his back and what bugs it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
For that to read anything into that one way or the other. Geez, Lord knows Hubie Brown couldn't shut up about all of LeBron's action being below the free throw line the other day. Hubie's pushing it with me, man.
Yeah, he drove you fucking crazy.
I want to like Hubie, I do, but
I think I give him a pass because of he's old man, reminds me of my grandpa. So he's
got a lot of capital to burn. I agree, but
yeah,
he's pushing it is all I'm saying.
I agree. He puts the shit out of me occasionally, but eventually he'll have that like self-deprecating comment that it makes me kind of like forgive him again. I'm a sucker for guys like that with Terry Pluto and stuff. It's just I can't stay mad at them.
Yeah.
Matty, let's talk for a second. Do you have anything more to say about LeBron before we move on?
No, we can keep going.
So one of the big reasons where LeBron has been able to keep his minutes down these first 3 games has been Richard Jefferson, who's just been fantastic.
Ooh.
Petty. I've been thrilled with him.
One of us said he was going to be the surprise player. Who was that?
Was it you?
Yeah, that was me.
That was you. Oh, interesting. Now, I recall saying, I don't recall what you said. I don't remember this that you called him the key breakout player.
It was last month. Who's most likely to surprise? I said him.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Just like a week ago, we had this conversation. You've erased
it. Like everything you say, Matty. I quickly forget it. I'm sorry.
In one ear and out the other.
Exactly. You're just
the noise somebody makes in between.
Matt, yes, exactly. You're a platform for me to talk, so don't you forget that. So tell me, why did you see something in him to be the big surprise, and why are you pleased that he was?
So part of my thinking with him being a surprise is just how low expectations were last year because of Marion and Miller. And I just felt like he had more left in the tank than either of those guys. Physically, and his 3-point shot last year, he shot a really nice percentage, right? And that's the criticism you brought up last week was that it was low volume, and would that sustain under higher number of shots? We'll see if it's the same, but in general, I think he's been really athletic and really athletic, reasonably athletic, and helps keep the ball moving in our offense. I think he's just a good influence on the rest of the team when he's out there.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement. He's a good guy. He's smart. He has been around the league for a while. He's got that good locker room presence. He's got a good reputation. But as I was saying, the knock on him was he shoots a good percentage on 3-pointers, but what he would do is get the ball, have an open shot, and pass up an open 3 for a drive to the basket instead, relying on athleticism that is no longer really all there.
Right.
So that was the one frustration from Mavericks fans, is how often he would pass out an open 3. So the big question was, he's got a great 3-point percentage, but he's just low volume. Will he jack it up at a higher rate? Maybe this is the Cavs. Maybe this is just the whole league-wide move to shooting more 3s. But he has been jacking it up at a pretty good rate. He's taken 10 3-point attempts so far and hit 6 of them. I mean, obviously that's just, the numbers will average out. But if he's shooting 3 3-point attempts per game, more than that, fucking A.
Yeah.
Richard Jefferson, he's going to be fantastic.
He's not scared to throw it up at all.
No, not at all.
Really aggressive with his shot, which we need him to be.
Absolutely. Now, Matty, I have a surprise point I want to bring up on Richard Jefferson, and I don't know if anyone has pointed this out before. But viewers, like people watch this, listeners to the Cleveland Sports Hour will be familiar with Scooter G, our friend, the lost soul, who does not root for the Cavaliers because he still has not forgiven LeBron for leaving for 5 years ago. We've been through many times before why he's wrong about this and pig-headed because that's his nature. And why, at the end of the day, he's not being loyal to Cleveland by still being disloyal to LeBron because the whole city's behind this team, and so he's going against his city to root against them. This all being said, Matty, take a long look at Richard Jefferson and tell me he does not look like a black Scott Fuller.
Whoa.
Has this been said before? Has anyone pointed out this look-alike yet?
No.
This cross-racial look-alike?
I've heard.
Our friends.
I know Burn Notice. I know. I think he resembles early period Jerry Seinfeld a lot, but this is very interesting.
It's jarring to me. He's got a huge dome, Richard Jefferson. He's got narrow set eyes. He also has. I heard him in the post. He has a high pitched voice, just like Scooter too.
Whoa!
It's uncanny. His voice is. You got to hear him in an interview, and it's hard not to see Scott Fuller. A bald black Scott Fuller. That's why I started calling him.
Pictures of him right now.
During the game, during the Heat game with Becca, I was calling because I already called that out. We started calling Richard Jefferson bald black Scott Fuller, bald black Scooter.
Well, this is CBS. Let's put this on watch. This is something for me to keep an eye on.
But this also got me thinking, Matty. This team, as we know, our friend Scooter does not root for the Cavs, but this Cavaliers team, is practically fucking built.
Oh, this is one of the reasons Scott's so dumb about this.
But this team is built to be a team that Scooter loves.
He's spiting himself here.
Player that looks like him? Check.
Yep, he loves that.
Player that boasts an outrageous high top and releases remixes of Drake songs?
Ooh, we got one of those.
Check. Got that. Stylish, showboating, volatile, high turnover scorer and J.R. Smith?
Oh, he loves those types.
Got that. Check. I mean, this, Matty, I know. I said last week that the only way to get through Scott was to treat him like a child and ignore him.
Yep.
Ignore the tantrum.
That's right. Still. I'm
failing in this. I've already gotten into it with him once this past week.
You were texting him?
Yeah, I guess I did. I just.
That's a bad idea, Pat.
I can't quit him. I can quit him. Ugh. All right. So let's keep an eye on this. Black Scott Fuller.
I like it. I like lookalikes, Patty.
Man, it's so much fun. It's so great. Matty, let's before we get to the games themselves, let's move on to the power kill list. Did the Bulls and the Heat change anything for you on the kill list?
Nothing in the game so much. I think I might actually. So, do we want to do the countdown again?
Yeah, but give me your 5, and I'll give my 5. We'll do it faster this time.
Okay, we'll go through it fast. That's good. So I think Pat Riley was my 5th last time. I think he's dropping out. I left that Heat game very unscared of the Heat. We'll talk about this more later because I think I'm still scared of them. But
not scared, but not 100% not scared, but we'll talk about it.
So I saw enough there that he came out and I think Steph Curry wormed his way back in.
Yeah.
A lot of that, again, is me being out here and dealing with the nonsense from the Warriors fans constantly, but he snuck in again for me.
I'm glad you brought this up, Matty, because it's been bugging the shit out of me here following on Twitter. Everyone just blowing their loads over Steph Curry. It is 50-plus PER. His 53-point game. That's cute. Kyrie's outscored that twice. He's outscored his 2 career Kyrie has twice outscored Steph Curry's career high. But also, as everyone keeps pointing out all this stuff, it's like, yeah, you're the best team in the league against the fucking Pelicans, who you played twice, who are fielding like a mash unit.
Yep.
And people are just jerking off on
point guard in game 1 and then cut him.
Yeah, I mean, are you fucking kidding me? And just how fucking arrogant these motherfuckers are. I had Steph Curry. I put Steph Curry. I built back to 7. But he's on my radar. with Kelly Olynyk now. He's definitely on the radar now. And before I wasn't putting him on there, but he's 100% on the radar now at number 7 for me. So I fully accept him. But how are you dealing with this out in San Francisco? This must be so fucking insufferable.
Fortunately, there's not a high. There are a lot of front runners out here, and it's not.
You mentioned.
It's hard for them to get excited, so it's not so in my face, and they're back down too. So it hasn't been so problematic for me.
All right, number 4.
Okay, so the rest of my 4 is same as last week. Nobody moved in or out. Kelly Olynyk's still in there. I'm still mad at the Celtics. Dunleavy Jr., even though he's been hurt, is still earned a solid place there. Noah, I didn't find myself wanting to murder him specifically for anything in that game, but John, I'm still mad at him. I didn't like how tan he looked. That bothered me.
Living well. You don't like to see your enemies living well. No. That's a murderable offense.
It looked a little artificial to me too. I didn't like anything about that. And Draymond's still number 1 with a bullet for me. So just Pat Riley drifting out and Steph back in for me.
Fair enough. Steph is still on the outside looking at number 7. He might climb quickly. We'll see. Kelly Olynyk for me, number 6, even though I'm going outside 5 now. But everything else did the same for me. Wade at 5, Harden at 4. I can't decide between Paul Pierce and Chris Paul. I'm going to go with Chris Paul for right now, just because I haven't really seen Paul Pierce do anything. But I reserve the right to switch Paul Pierce in for Chris Paul.
He'll get there for you at some point, I'm sure.
At any moment. But that's the point. I because we're on the same team, I consider them switchable, right?
Yeah, I got you.
It tends to be tied to the team who I hate more. So I feel like there'll be a front runner for that. That's why Steph Curry is so much further down, because Draymond Green is still much higher for me. And he's still number 2. Mike Dunleavy, of course, still number 1. He didn't play, so he didn't do anything to lose his status. One name I want to throw out there, Matty, and I put him in here at the top slot. It's too early for this. He's not going to ever be at the top slot, but he'll make it on my radar. Is Morotic.
Oh yeah.
I am growing to fucking hate that guy real fast. His fucking Amish beard, dude. You're fucking European.
Yeah.
Fuck are you doing? You're not Jewish. You're not. Is he Muslim? He's not Muslim, is he?
I do not believe so. No.
So you're being an asshole wearing a beard like that, unless you're Amish, Muslim, or devout Jewish. Like, what the fuck are you doing with a goddamn beard like that?
Wow.
One.
Coming in hot.
It's a fucking ugly beard. Like, James Harden is the beard, but he does shit with it. Like, he's got
Did him hitting all those threes really bother you?
Yeah, of course it did. It's annoying. He was not that good of a shooter last year. He really wasn't. He was like low 30%.
He's not that good a shooter in reality. I can't remember. I think he had Love on him and took a step back like 5 feet behind the 3-point line, hit a shot. He's not that good.
This week he's been lighting it up. Obviously, he's been killing my fantasy team. My fantasy team's been killing my fantasy team, but he hasn't helped. The talk has been that he was a great shooter in Europe, but NBA scouts thought he wasn't going to be a good shooter in the NBA, and that proved true early on in his first year. But there's a question of whether he's adjusted to the pace of the NBA and now has brought back his good shooting. The reason why I'm having a hard time hating him too much is because I think that he's going to be easily figured out because he's the worst fucking defender.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Once teams realize you just have to just drive at him and just drive him off the fucking court because he is an embarrassment out there, and he'll be a big minus for the Bulls lineups when good teams figure that out.
No, I feel like we'll be able to foul him out of a game with no problem.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Focused on them, yeah.
But also he's kind of a little bitch. He's a little bitch with his headshots. He had a headshot in the game on Tuesday, didn't he? I feel like he did.
Who'd he get?
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Maybe I don't remember, but I feel like I saw one. I thought you would remember that. I feel like you called it out.
You probably saw him and thought he wanted to hit somebody, and that made you so mad, Pat.
Probably. So he's reaching that status for me. So he's going to be on the list at some point this year, I think, if he keeps playing as well as he is.
It was Todd Gibson, I think, that caught LeBron with an elbow, right, on the free throws. Remember there was a
yeah, maybe that's what it was. And I just assumed that it was Mirotic was looking at LeBron when it happened, so I assumed it was Mirotic.
Yeah.
Neurotic.
He's certainly worth watching, though. I agree with you.
So also, speaking of the Bulls, I was impressed by them. I was not scared by any of these teams. But again, it's hard to be scared by teams that you're either beating or are in a close match when you're missing two of your starters, right?
Correct.
Especially with the Bulls when it was our first game and most of the guys hadn't played together. I was not scared by the Bulls, but I was really impressed at how their offense meshed together. I mean, Matty, think about the guys that can't shoot threes, the guys that you're happy shooting wide open threes. It's a short list. It's Derrick Rose.
Yep.
Shoot wide open threes all fucking day. Please shoot more of them. Please, you're terrible at it. Keep shooting them
all day. He looked all right in the lane, but yes, I agree with you.
Yeah. No, that's my point. Keep shooting the threes. Stay out of the lane. Keep shooting the threes. Stay out of the lane. Derrick Rose shouldn't shoot threes. Taj Gibson shouldn't shoot threes.
And doesn't.
It doesn't. And Joakim Noah shouldn't shoot threes. Maybe Pau Gasol, but he's got kind of a decent shot. Everybody else out there, when they had the ball on the outskirts with no one on them, I got nervous. I was like, oh shit. And then new guys are coming. Like, God damn, they got they almost have 8 to 10 legit good 3-point shooters.
Yeah, I'm looking. I mean, this is without Dunleavy playing, who's a good shot.
Yeah, another good shot.
Dunleavy, Mirotic, Tony Snell's okay. Jimmy
Butler, he's good. Yep.
McDermott certainly looked good in that game. Aaron Brooks can hit a three if you need him to. Etuan Moore can hit a three if you need him to.
Yeah, that was the crazy thing I did not expect. I did not expect Etuan Moore to be hitting those threes, but he did. Yeah, Etuan Moore at 7 now you're at.
And Kirk Heinrich couldn't get off the bench, but he can hit a 3 too. That's 8 guys.
That's 8 guys. You put Powell on those 9. I mean, that's solid.
They've got and Jimmy Butler permanently scares me. Do you think it's weird that Derrick Rose is single white femaling him with his haircut this year? It weirds me out a little bit.
Single black mailing him. I guess. Yeah, it's weird. Are they roommates? That would be a nice little subtext.
I don't think so. I think Derrick Rose is married and with kids and stuff, but it's weird. And
Matty, who broke Derrick Rose's face? Do you think it was Jimmy Butler defending himself? Is that what happened? Is this a single white female moment that happened? Yeah.
That's not impossible. The other thing on the Bulls that I'm glad of is that Tony Snell got rid of the cornrows that he had. They really made him look like a child.
I can't remember Tony Snell's cornrows. So
I'm glad he's got a regular haircut now.
Good for him. He's got a grown man haircut. Nice.
Yeah. It didn't work for him. His new haircut's sort of Jake, but it's better than what those cornrows were doing for him. Yeah, listen. The Bulls team is the second best team in the East, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that it's close. I mean, the Heat. We'll talk about the Heat in a second. Maybe they could do something maybe that'd get them up there, but the Bulls are good.
The Bulls are good because the Bulls still have their defensive principles from the Thibodeau era, so they still play good, solid power defense. But again, the reason they got better on offense is they added these guys that are sieves on defense, which is to say, Powell normally when he's not blocking LeBron. Yeah. And Moronic.
Yeah.
And McDermott, yeah. Jimmy Buckets is also a huge liability. So the Cavs, I think, have the offensive prowess to run them off the court in a pinch, and we'll be fine in a game of 7.
And also, we shot 59% from the free throw line in that game. We hit a couple free throws. It's a different story.
We missed a ton of wide open 3-pointers. Yeah. And the fact, to me, the fact that we got that game within a shot was embarrassing for the Bulls.
Yes, I agree.
Because we were playing so poorly. Here's the thing: they were hitting a ton of terrible shots.
Yeah,
terrible shots. There was at least 8 a 20-foot 2-point shots that they took and hit. A lot of them were Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy can get away with that the way LeBron can get away with that. But still, I'm like, yes, Jimmy, you'll hit a lot of those sometimes. Keep shooting those. Just keep shooting those. Those are not easy shots. Keep shooting them.
Yeah.
Keep shooting. You make me happy every time you shoot those shots, even if you make them. And they hit a ton of those. They also had a ton of flying runners into traffic with 3 guys defending the guy. It was like they had tons of crazy shots.
Yep.
So they got real lucky. All that said, they only beat us by 2, and we could have stolen that game. So, yeah, I was not too upset about it, aside from the fact that I fucking hate the Bulls and I hate anytime they win.
Yeah, it was infuriating, but not
Yeah.
worrying.
Yeah. Memphis, I was totally surprised. I mean, I was not totally surprised by it because, like, I guess we fucking own them now. It's the third game in a row we have just completely and utterly destroyed them.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised.
I mean, I was too, just because we're Clevelanders. We expect the worst.
But even we talked about that in the preview. This is their home opener. They're going to come up fired up. We were coming off.
Second night of back-to-back, road back-to-back. The fuck NBA schedules gave us 2 road back-to-backs.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, a road back-to-back to start our fucking season. Like, holy shit. But the thing is, I think it's this one thing. Their best players, right, aside from Conley, are Zebo and Wendigo.
Gasol.
Yeah, Gasol. And they did this weird thing, Blatt and Lou, the first time we really played them with our guys last year. They put Mozgov on Zebo.
Yep.
They put the center on the power forward, and they put Kevin Love on Gasol, Wendigo. And yeah, I don't fully get how Gasol gets neutralized by Kevin Love. I get how Zebo gets neutralized by Mozgov, because Mozgov has crazy long arms. Zebo is used to shooting over slightly smaller, undersized power forwards, right? So they can't bother him on his jump shot. His best shot is that baseline jumper that he just drills all the time. But for some reason, Gasol can't get going against Kevin Love, which is crazy.
Yeah, we are uniquely situated to deal with those guys. I mean, we got the big to handle them.
That's the genius of this roster. We can mix and match to really exploit things, and we just have their number. Like that was just we just torched them.
Yeah, it was extremely impressive.
Yeah, Memphis is a much better team than that. Even though they may not be top 6, top 5, they're up there. They're a dangerous team that can, they're so good at defense.
I mean, they're ones that they're never going to make it through the West. So it's nice beating them as a barometer during the year, but it's not a team that I worry about. They just don't have the 3-point shooting on it. I'm looking, they shot 2 of 16 from 3-point range in that game. And I don't remember them missing a ton of open threes either.
No,
a couple at the end, but
that's always been their Achilles heel.
They just can never figure out how to get 3-point shooting, and they still don't.
It's still strange to me because John Hollinger's not their GM, but he works for them. Like you think that Hollinger would find a way to get them some 3-point shooters.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I think it's just it's tougher than
hard.
you think, especially when you got locked into their big 3 that they do.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I remember when the Cavs didn't have LeBron. It's much easier when you have LeBron to get 3-point shooters.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Miami. Again, hard to be scared by a team you whoop on that bad. But their starting 5 is really good. Wade looks really sharp, looks really good. Bosch looks good when he's not getting just stuffed by TT, which is awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was so great.
They're
Goran Dragic look weak, but Hassan Whiteside it bugged the shit out of me. How terrifying he looked.
Dude, that dude was he's like peak Mutombo out there, where if you're down there with him, he's just gonna get. I mean, both. There's different kind of shot blockers. I feel like he's the guy that can do it in playing one-on-one defense and just stuff a dude, and also his help side shot blocks are good too.
We had so many good plays where you thought oh, great pass, oh, bunny. And out of nowhere stuff. It's like it wasn't even close. Oh, that looked like it was automatically going in and just got it had no chance. Apparently it had no chance. That scared the shit out of me. And the fact that he had some good polished offensive moves.
Patty.
Yeah.
He missed a lot of just didn't rotate properly on a lot of the Delly Thompson oops in that game.
My favorite move in pro basketball right now is the Delly TT Love Jam.
I think we're going to need a name for that one, Patty.
We do. Peanut butter and Delly.
Peanut butter and Delly?
I'm working with him. I'm just
what does that have to do
with
Tristan Thompson and an alley-oop?
I don't know. Help me out here, Matty. You come up with you help.
I'm not saying we need a spot. I'm just saying over the course of this year, we're going to need a term for that play.
I'm throwing one out. Come on, work with me here.
I'm rejecting it. It's terrible.
Well, fine. Give me something else then. You can't just reject it and offer nothing of value and substance.
I don't have anything right now. I'm just throwing it out. You're really jumping.
You're throwing out a zero. You're just gonna lay the smack down, throw nothing out of substance or value.
Yeah, other than my critique of your terrible idea. That's it.
All right.
So did you see, Patty? Did you see that the Heat blew out the Rockets tonight?
I did. Well, the Rockets are the first team, I think, in history to be blown out by more than 20 points in their first 3 games.
I saw that too. Ever. Yeah, it was, and I think the Heat were losing by a good bit early in the game and looked bad and came back. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I was just sort of following things on Twitter. So that makes me feel better about beating them too. I like to see that.
Yeah, certainly. If we beat them real bad, we could probably beat the Rockets real bad. And that tells me the Rockets have some shit to work out.
For sure.
They're gonna be fine probably.
For sure.
But I was never terribly worried about the Rockets.
The Hubie Brown kept making the point that the Heat starters hadn't played together before. Not this game, but before the season. Pat, I don't think the Cavs starters had played before.
Yeah, no.
The start of the season. They never played all together
Not at all.
Season, so I'm less than satisfied with that as an excuse.
No, I agree. The Heat starters, though, did outscore us. Or outscore us. They're plus minus.
Plus minus.
Right. It was their bench that they're so psyched about that we destroyed, torched. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Like, I honestly, I should be scared more of Chicago. I was more impressed by Chicago than I am. Like, if I had to rank the league right now, it's Cavs 1, Chicago 2, Heat 3.
Yes, I agree. However,
I feel like long-term this season, Heat are the team we're going to see in the conference finals. Unless we see them earlier. But, my point being, they're the one to beat, I feel like, for the Cavs.
Right. And there's some loose Carmelo Anthony getting traded with the Heat as a possible destination talk floating around.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's very loose at this point. That barely rises to rumor level. But
I gotta feel like the Knicks are playing pretty well early in the season. They're not going to be a playoff team, but they're going to be promising with Chris Stapps and all that shit, and Melo playing as well as he does. They'd be dumb to trade him right now. They should ride him out for a little bit. They're not going to get a good return on trading Melo. That makes no sense for them.
Patty, let me ask you a related to this. This is my surprise question for you.
Ooh.
3 games into the year, how queasy does the thought of Timofey Mozgov getting a max contract make you?
I want to answer this honestly and think about what a max contract does next year. Like, if it was a max contract this year, or if it's the equivalent of a max contract this year, I'd be fine. 100% fine with him getting 94 for 5 years. Be fine with that. But a max contract next year with next year's cap is not going to be 90. It's not going to be 94. It's going to be like 120 and shit.
I'm also watching him out there, and I know I said last week that somebody would give him a max for sure, and I guess that's probably still true. But man, he's so limited in some ways.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I really think that people are going to offer him a shit ton of money. I think he might get offered as much as $19 and $20 million a year. But he's not going to get offered a max. I think that's the dumbest shit a team could do. It's not worth it. Gortat did not get maxed out, right?
No, I don't believe so.
He had a crazy high contract for sure for his actual skill and value. So I expect something like Gortat slightly more because he's more skilled than Gortat and better than Gortat, frankly, ever was.
Yeah, no, Gortat's not close to a max actually. Now that I think about it, right? I think he's.
Well, but was he at the time? Is what I mean more.
No, I don't think he was.
That's the most important measure. And I don't think he was. Well, but it still was a really outsized contract for his skill and his value. So I expect a similar markup for a big guy like Mozgov. I really have a hard time believing.
Gortat was last summer 5 years 60, so 12 a year.
Yeah.
Which would be what, 15 a year in the new world? Was it a third more? We say 16.
So I'm still hopeful we can get Mozgov at 19 a year, which is crazy, but I would do. Because who are we going to replace him with?
No, listen. I agree. It's crazy, but that's the world we're
living in now.
We're living in. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wanted to keep an eye on it. Listen, I love Mozzie. I love what he brings to the team.
Of course. I just bought his goddamn jersey, Matt. What are you trying to do to me? God damn it. Oh, Matty, actually, quick question.
Yeah.
And this is a leftover question from I didn't get to work in last week. What do you think is the most unexpected jersey I might buy before the end of the year, Cavs-wise?
The most unexpected, or which one that you don't currently have do I think you will get?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, more like a jersey I am likely to get, but will be unexpected. The combo of two. Like the likelihood I'll actually get this jersey, but it'll be a surprise to you.
Oh. This is tough.
Yeah, that's why I like this question.
I'm going to say Mogatti.
Ooh. Thought about that. A 52 as opposed to a 2. I'd love to get an old school 2 Williams jersey. That's a good guess.
I think what are the other candidates here? Shump?
LeBron was the one I'm starting to think about.
Oh, you don't have a LeBron right now?
Can I explain? You know why I don't have a LeBron jersey, right? I never had a LeBron jersey.
Oh no, yeah. I thought you.
The reason why
for a second. No, you never had.
I'm not a Cleveland. I'm not a Cleveland. I don't live in Cleveland. I live in New York. I see a lot of people wearing LeBron jersey, LeBron shirts, this and that. I know they're not Cavs fans. I know because I once made a mistake and talked to someone and they were like, oh no, I love LeBron. And it's like, oh. I don't want anyone thinking I'm just a LeBron fan. I want people to know I'm a Cavs fan, so I picked the obscure fucking Cavs players. So I've always made a point of picking obscure or like supporting role players, right? That's why I had Deion Waiters jersey. That's why my dad bought me a fucking Luke Jackson jersey.
Oh, that one. That's the worst one that you've ever had. Easily.
I mean, my dad bought it for me in the off season. I was like, Dad, he's getting cut out of training camp. What the fuck are you buying this jersey for? I was so pissed at him. But I look back going like, I mean, actually, that's a fantastic jersey to get. To have a jersey that is just not going to exist at all. So I'm starting to think, I mean, goes back into my Kyrie being the best player on the Cavs soon. Like I might at some point break down and get a LeBron jersey before it's too late. Now that I'm past the I don't want to. For a while, I also have a Kyrie Irving jersey. I mean, my son has a Kyrie Irving jersey. I never bought a Kyrie Irving jersey for the same reason during the non-LeBron years. I didn't want people to think, oh, Kyrie Irving, he just likes Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's
Patty.
That's what I'm thinking for myself. For you, Kevin Love is my unexpected but likely possible jersey for you to get.
That could happen. I mean, you should know the next one I'm getting is J.R. Smith, and there's no doubt about it.
Of course it is. That's an obvious one for you to get.
I'm just biding my time.
It would be very unlikely for you to get a white man's jersey. Not just
that's true.
It's true. You love I don't know how to say this without something weird, but like you don't gravitate towards white players. You gravitate towards the black players, which I think is great. And but Kevin Love,
especially angry, misunderstood black players, Patty.
Exactly. This is what I'm getting at. This is what I'm getting at. This is why Garrett. This is why I'm still a little kind of offended and outraged that you don't have a J.R. Smith jersey already,
Well, I wasn't sure he was going to be back this year. Now that he's back,
Now he's back. You got to go double down.
I think I'm going to get the special black T-shirt ones too.
Yeah, hold out for the Christmas jerseys.
Yeah.
The Christmas cream.
Ooh, I'm getting excited. I'm going to buy one after we get off this podcast, maybe, Patty. I'm getting real excited.
But I'm telling you, Kevin Love is the one that I'm thinking for you. Is going to be the unexpected one that you're can't help yourself anymore. You can't fight that feeling anymore. So excited about it.
My wife, Pat, following in Becca's footsteps, also thinks Kevin Love is very attractive and has said that I can get her a Kevin Love jersey. Does that count?
Ooh, I guess that counts. I might have to get Becca a Kevin Love jersey. We'll get the matching sets.
Oh, that'd be real sweet.
Oh, look at that. All right, Matty, let's move along to the rest of our podcast. Mostly getting to fun stuff here. I wanted to do a brief kind of like walk through. I just watching LeBron walk off the court.
Incredible.
Miami Heat, just going down the line. He had handshakes, special handshakes for everyone. They were all expertly done, with exception like Anderson Varejao and a few people that didn't have special. Yeah, everyone had specialty handshakes. I want to kind of go through the ones that I saw. If you saw any other ones that aren't on my list, jump in.
Yeah.
And there was one actually. Let me start with one that was not a LeBron handshake. J.R. Smith, your favorite player, and Kevin Love, your soon-to-be next favorite player, had their own handshake. They have their own special handshake, which involves like a sort of a skip to my Lou.
Yeah, I don't know fully what that one is, but I know what you're talking about, and that is what it looks like.
What is that?
I don't know.
Skip back and forth after the handshakes.
Somebody this year needs to do some in-depth reporting about all the handshakes, because I think LeBron seems to have unique ones for almost everybody. I don't think he's the only one.
No. I think every player has their own individual one with each other. Not every player. Like I'm sure some people don't give a shit,
but a lot.
A lot do. The other one, so the one that was the J.R. Love skip to my Lou. That one stood out to me. LeBron and Mozzie had a Bash Brothers. They had a Bash Brothers handshake. Back the normal slapping, back of the hand, that normal thing, ending with the Bash Brothers, which I fucking love. I just like seeing a gigantic, awkward, lanky Russian white dude do Bash Brothers with LeBron James. I just feel so happy for Mozzie.
Yep.
Don't you feel so happy for him? I want to give him a hug. And then LeBron and Shump had a nice one with the flat top.
Yep.
They both did the flat top with their hair at the end of it. What was interesting to me was that there's one article I read that like recapped all these handshakes and described the handshake with Delhi as he clearly didn't have a handshake for Delhi.
Oh, he has one.
I was like, no, I think that's their handshake.
It is.
It's a firm business handshake. It seems so. It was intentional. It was like handshake. It was like just firm business handshake. Because I saw other players do it to him too. Yep. They come up to him, they give him a firm handshake.
Like they start to go into another move, and then they just go right into the handshake.
They go into like it's a firm, manly handshake. Like I think
a hug, and then it's a handshake, making eye contact with each other while they do it.
Yes.
One firm pump, and that's it.
All right, Matty, I'm going to rank my handshake right now. I'm putting the Delhi firm handshake as the best handshake.
It's so much fun.
It's so much fun because it's understated. It's also predictable for me to be, I'm an old man, at heart. So I love that shit. I'm going to start with that. The Bash Brothers is number 2. Skip to my Lou is number 3, and the flat top is number 4. Do you have any differences of opinion?
No, I don't know. I need to do some more studying on this. But the Delhi firm business handshake is my favorite for sure.
All right, we are in agreement on that.
Patty, the other thing I like about this, and this will dovetail into our next topic of conversation, is I really like how much fun these guys seem to be having with each other. It reminds me very much of the good
the good old Cavs days,
with the team, the family portraits and everything. I enjoy rooting for a team that gets along and has fun like that. I think it's absolutely. That's a great experience for us.
So much fun, especially after having to watch the Browns today.
Yes.
And on top of that, it was funny. It got to the point where in the preseason, the Cavs had to have a team meeting about having too much fun. That's a great problem to have. Hey, guys, I know we love each other. I know we have fun. We got to get fucking down to business. Come on. Like that's. I mean, it could be a bad thing, I guess, but like, I don't really worry that much with this many veterans around. I feel like
No, I
they'll
don't
get
either.
it in line. It's pretty exciting. But yeah, speaking of fun, Halloween. I don't know if you know about this, Matty.
Oh,
But it was Halloween last night.
I heard.
You may have heard of this holiday. The Cavs basically all party at LeBron's house, which is awesome. I'm going to walk through some of the Halloween costumes that were online, and guys, if you're listening, you just go Google them. A lot of them are really, really good. We'll start with LeBron. LeBron dressed as Prince, not Prince Charming or Prince William or anything like shit like that. But Prince, artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah.
But specifically, Prince from the Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
The Chappelle Show depiction of his game with Charlie Murphy.
It was awesome. I mean,
game blouses. Now who wants pancakes?
He spent some money on that.
It was a fucking great costume. That's a great call for LeBron to do, given that the story of that event was how fucking great in basketball Prince was. That's a great costume for LeBron to pull up with, and bold too, right?
I love that.
Love that. Kevin Love went as Will Ferrell from Tropic. What was the name of that fucking terrible basketball comedy? Semi-pro.
So I actually have
Tropics.
I have a point of clarification here,
Mm.
which is that he is not going as Will Ferrell in that movie because Will Ferrell did not have facial hair in that movie. He's going as one of the other guys whose name I can't remember. There was like a big Russian on the team who looked like Kevin Love looks now.
Oh, wait. So he's going as a role player on the Flint Tropics?
That's correct. That's correct.
Wow. That's bold.
He's not Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell didn't have facial hair. He shaved. I mean, I appreciate what Kevin Love did here. This is taking nothing away from him. He shaved his beard down into a Fu Manchu. He really sold it. He's already has his hair permed. I don't know if he's been prepping for this costume since the preseason to get his hair permed like that. But
it is possible. The last time I grew a beard was for an Ultimate Frisbee costume for a Halloween tournament.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not. He wasn't Jackie Moon.
However, he's also doing Movember. Apparently, he and Mo Williams and
a few of the guys. I think LeBron
maybe, and JR.
Yeah, well, JR was already doing it.
Yeah, so they're doing Movember, so they grow mustaches. So that'll be exciting. Interestingly, by the way, a good shout out to Cavs and Justin Rowan. He unwittingly picked the exact same costume as Kevin Love.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I saw it on my Twitter. I was like, "Oh, hey, that's pretty fun."
Good on.
Okay, so let's get into some of the weird costumes. Tristan Thompson went as Clark Kent.
Yeah, with a Superman T-shirt underneath his suit.
Yeah, it looked really weird because he had like white man hair.
Oh yeah, he had a wig on.
It was like whiteface a little bit. It was, Chappelle-ish, Eddie Murphy-ish. Yeah, Eddie Murphy-ish, right? Which it looks so weird.
He also looked a lot like our friend Jeff Versteeg.
The idea of Tristan Thompson looking like Jeff Versteeg, it gives Jeff Versteeg too much credit.
Tristan Thompson really nerding himself out, making himself look bad to be Clark Kent, that looked like Versteeg.
Yeah, and that's the point, is that at the end of the day, Tristan Thompson looking like Jeff Versteeg is Tristan Thompson looking really weird. And then he can look like Jeff Versteeg.
That's correct.
So there's that.
Maybe not as weird as Shump, though, huh?
Oh, yeah, you guys got to look this up. Shump and his girl, they're married, right? Because they have a kid coming on the way, I think, right? Are they not?
I don't think they're married, but they're
they're together. They did the gender switch thing, and Shump got bold. That's impressive. I give props to that. It's a bold outfit. It's not gonna be popular in some quarters in Ohio, since we know it's a purple state. But
He went for it. I appreciate that.
He went for it. I think that's fucking great. I love it. I've gone drag at a party before. It's great. It's fun.
I mean, he had his midriff bare.
I did not go that far. That was bold. That's what I meant. He really went all the way out there.
I'm looking at it now. He's wearing like a schoolgirl mini skirt. It's pink. It was all pink.
Mm-hmm.
Very revealing. Yeah, it was great.
Wow. All right. And then J.R. Smith went as a baby, I guess. Is that preferential?
Real weird.
Mo Gotti went as Mo Gotti. Kind of lame.
I thought he went as Freddy Krueger.
Is that what that was? Hold on. I'm looking at the picture I have. Is that what it is? I see a hat, a brown hat, and a
It's
black
Freddy Krueger. He's got
coat.
a striped, like a horizontally striped sweater under a coat.
Oh, but the coat. Why would he wear a coat? Did Freddy Krueger have a coat? I don't get that.
On occasion, Freddy Krueger would wear a coat. It's very obvious, Pat, if you go to Fear the Swords story about the Halloween party. There's one thing together, and it's Mo right up front, and he actually has a mask on, a Freddy Krueger mask on, and
There you go.
everything.
There you go. I kind of hope that Kevin Love keeps the handlebar mustache for a couple games at least.
I think he will.
That'll be good. Hopefully, he's got to, just for the fuck of it. Honorable mentions. I think that's Jared Cunningham going as a minion. Yes,
For sure, it is.
and then who is the guy dressed as a Scotsman?
I never saw that. The picture I'm looking at, Patty, I've got Deli in OR scrubs. I've got Joe Harris, maybe as a Ghostbuster of some sort. I can't tell. He's standing behind LeBron. It's difficult to see exactly. Anderson Varejao has like a scary mask on. There's also Kyrie's there with a hood on. I'm not exactly sure what he's supposed to be. I can't tell in the picture. Somebody's in a wolf mask, somebody very tall who's probably Sasha Khan.
That makes sense.
Who do you think was not at the party? For instance, I haven't seen Richard Jefferson.
Richard Jefferson? He's old. Kids take care of, maybe. I didn't go after Halloween. Jesus. I mean, I went to my kid out trick-or-treating, but then...
Yeah, but if you had been invited to LeBron's party, you would have gone.
That's hell right. Yeah, I would have. It's true. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this Scots.
Mozgov? I don't see Mozgov unless he's in the Wolfman outfit, which is possible. That seems like the perfect place that Mozgov would like to be.
Certainly possible. Another weird thing is the oil painting of LeBron in the background of one of these shots. Jerry Cunningham shot in particular over the mantle. It's very I don't know, like.
Listen, I'd love to get in LeBron's house and see what's going on in there. I'm sure there's some weird stuff.
It's weird. There's a bust of somebody on the mantle. It's David. It's something Greek looking. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe it's Kevin Love. Might be Kevin Love with the curly hair. Can't tell. Anyway, so much for Halloween. Matty, so week 2 coming up. Needless to say, it gets a little bit easier. We got 4 games coming up. Monday against Philly. Wednesday in Philly. Wednesday at home of the Knicks.
National TV game.
Jesus Christ. Really?
Yeah, it's ESPN on Wednesday.
The fucking Knicks. God damn it. Knicks and the Lakers. Gilling's fucking... If I was a Knicks and Lakers fan, I'd just be embarrassed. I mean, I'm embarrassed that the Browns are playing on national TV.
Yeah.
On Thursday night against the Bengals. It's just ridiculous. Why? Why? And then Friday at home against Philly again. And then Sunday against the Pacers.
I'm gonna say we go 3-1.
Yeah, likewise. I say if we go less than 3-1, it's very disappointing. Very disappointing.
Yeah, I mean we're better than each and every one of these teams, significantly better than 3 of them. The Pacers are okay and usually play us tough. Absolutely. I could see having a letdown Sunday, but I bet we go 3-1, and I'm very upset about the 1 loss.
Yeah. I agree with that. And I think we have a chance to go 4-0 as well, which is why I'll be upset about the 1 loss.
I mean, we should go 4-0. We should beat all these teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see. I want a minimum of 20 minutes out of Joe Harris this week.
Mm.
20's a lot. 15 minutes.
You know, that's a funny thing. We talked about. We thought they'd be featuring Harris early on. They've been featuring Jared Cunningham.
Yeah, not at all. It looked way better than Harris. I don't know if Harris makes it through the season now.
Yeah.
What are we hanging on to him for? There was all that talk that liked him. I just don't buy it. No.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder. You know, he can hit threes, you know, when he's feeling it, but he can't do much else, it seems like. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Well, it's
Let's see him this week. This week should tell us something. He should be playing.
I don't know. I think the first 3 games kind of showed us that he's not going to play. So we'll
I just mean they should blow these teams out, and he should get
and give him a chance to play.
Yeah.
All right, Matty. Before we go, let's do a next week most likely to. You throw out some of your own if you have any. But I'll start with who's the most likely to get a T this week. I mean, obviously more than one, but who's the most likely?
I think it's JR until further notice.
Certainly. Besides JR.
You know he had that T rescinded. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. That's bull. It was a bullshit call. It
was funny after the game they asked him and he was like, "It's not getting rescinded." You know how many I've had rescinded?
That's right. Never. None. 0. And then actually, old man, crazy power forward. What the fuck is his name? God damn it! Why am I blanking on his name? The Cavs are you know the only other guy in the 5 straight finals. James Jones. So James Jones. It basically told JR while he was talking to reporters, you just gotta pull your jersey up over your face.
Yeah, I saw that.
They can't give you a T if you curse while you cover your mouth. They can't give you a T. I just love shit like that.
Yeah, it is JR.
So that's some old man shit, right? No, it's JR. But besides JR, is there anyone else who's gonna get a T?
I mean, you know, I said before the season that I thought Mozzie, I gave likely beyond JR to get suspended because he'd get some T's. So
yeah, I go with Mozzie next, for sure.
Yeah, I'll go him. He's been running his mouth still. He's just gotten away with it so far. So yeah, I'm down with that.
All right, you have another? Do you have any most likely twos planned? No.
How about?
Did you do any work, Matty?
Yeah, Patty. How about who's most likely to lead the team in assists for these 4 games?
Ooh, this is good.
Teams.
The popular answer is to go with Kevin Love, because of how many assists he had the other night. But I'm gonna say LeBron. I'm gonna go lame and say LeBron.
Not Delly. Not Delly with his 17-to-1 assist to turnover ratio leading the league.
That's true. All the TT lob jams we have to come up with a good name for.
I believe Delly after Friday night was 3rd in the league in assists. 7th I don't know. He's top 10 in assists. I'll go Delly.
I like your call for Delly. That's good. It still amazes me that no one tells people, just stay with your man. Let Delly try to take a layup.
Right.
Let Delly try to take the root. Just let him stay with your man. They just don't do it.
His play is surprisingly strong this year.
It wasn't just what I love is like how bold he's been going at the rim. I'm like, hey, dude, hey, stop taking that shot.
Yeah.
What are you doing? He's making them.
Yeah.
Or at least like he's getting. At least the shot isn't embarrassing. Like, if it doesn't go in, it's like, oh, he almost made that shot. Actually, that's a pretty decent shot.
Nah, he's looked really good.
Who is most likely, Matty, to be an Instagram hero next week with the most relevant Instagram post?
I'm going to go Mo Gotti here.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with TT. He hasn't done much besides the weird-ass Clark Kent shit. He's been so preoccupied with getting back up to speed. I think he's going to have a big outfit next week.
That's a good call. I mean, I think a lot of guys got stuff out on Halloween, but you're right. He was a little quieter than we might expect, and probably feels a little like he was overshown by the other guys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. You have anything else?
Yeah. This is a slight variance on the T question, but who's most likely to mix it up physically this week?
I like that. I like that. Um, hmm. You want to, it's like for the technical question, exactly. Mozgov and JR are the first and foremost guys, right?
Generally.
I want to say TT.
I'd like to see TT mix it up a little physically.
He's getting more confident in himself as a leader and gets in people's faces. I liked how when he got dunked on by Dwayne Wade, and it was like by the time TT tried to challenge, Wade was already dunking the ball, so it was kind of like not quite so bad.
I agree.
TT made a decent play, I think, at the other end, and as he was coming up the court, he was jawing with Dwayne Wade, like if I had to imagine what they were saying, it was something along the lines of like don't get too hot, because Dwayne Wade stared down TT after dunking the ball, and he was jawing with him a little bit. Not that TT was being like hostile or pissed at Dwayne Wade. The point being that he's got a lot of pride. Tristan Thompson does, and he doesn't suffer shit. So I could see something happen there. So it's not the most likely to, but the one that I'm looking forward to. That's the one I call.
I'm going to call Andy, and the only
I like it.
The team it would have happened with if they were their old selves is the Pacers, who we got a little nasty with a few times last year, but no David West there now.
That's true.
No Lance for a little bit, no Roy Hibbert. I just don't know what this Pacers team really looks like, but I'm still going to say Andy because he breathes on people and his hair gets in their mouths. And that's to do it.
It's so fucking annoying.
That still holds.
Alrighty, Matty. This is a much happier way to end.
Oh, it's so much better, isn't it? I gotta say, I am going to try to temper my enthusiasm for this team. My enthusiasm for this team a little bit. But I was riding high this weekend, man. I feel really, really solid about this year. They look awesome. They're doing everything we could want them to do, and we got reinforcements coming.
Exactly.
This
team is passing the ball. They're moving the ball. They're running sets. LeBron's playing the post. LeBron's playing off ball. Matty, Kevin Love is getting into the flow of the offense. He's still getting packed underneath. It was fun watching him the first game get packed. Not like fun watching it packed, but watching him in the following games. He wouldn't go straight up. He kind of realized the kind of guys that were around him that were going to block him and, either take it back out or do something funny or pass the ball. This is a smart team. And, David Meneman, the ESPN beat reporter for the Cavs, I wrote a piece early on about how the Cavs are kind of counting down the days to the Christmas Day matchup.
Yeah.
Against the Golden State Warriors, and I gotta say I agree. I am, they can't look past everybody else. Obviously, they gotta keep keep their heads down and keep focusing on things. But that's what this is all for. This is all for a big, in the earliest season this year, matchup with the Warriors, and that's what tells me that for sure Kyrie's gonna be back early December. I'm calling it right now. He'll be back first week of December. He'll be out there playing because he got to get the game speed for that fucking game because he wants to fucking kill them.
Oh, man, I'm excited for that already.
So much so.
Hmm.
Whew. All right, Matty.
This is a good one.
Excited. This is a good one. I should have said it at the top of the sports hour. I'll say it at the top of every sports hour after this, but it's not confirmed yet. We're trying to get this thing on iTunes so you guys can, subscribe to the podcast feed and just get it downloaded to your iPhones and Androids and all that. I'll let you know as soon as that's happened, but hopefully it'll happen soon. We'll try and be back next week. Most likely we'll be back next week. I don't see any reason why not.
I think it should work.
this pace seems to work. Frankly, the Browns are more an irritant than anything else in our talk about the Cavs. So we'll be back next week around this time, Sunday night, Monday night, somewhere in that range. But until next time, this is Matty and Patty saying... Friendship. Well done, Matty.
All right, buddy. Take care. Go